Welcome back to the Secret Diaries, hosted by Maria Sandoval, aka me. I feel like officially this is going to be episode 1. I had posted a video before, but you guys, I looked so shy. I didn't even know what I was doing. But you know what? We posted it anyways. So, yes, officially episode 1. In this channel, we are going to talk about relationship advice, confidence advice, just womanhood topics, and anything else that you guys might want to touch on. I feel like it's so hard being a girl sometimes, and we don't always get the best advice from our friends. And let me tell you, you will probably not get the best advice from me, but I want to share my advice with you guys. I feel like it's cool to see different perspectives. I love talking about stuff with my friends because I feel like everyone has a different perspective. And I feel like we're at a point in our life where nobody is wrong or right. It's just a different perspective. Like, I can definitely think something true and my friend can think something true, and it doesn't mean that any of us are wrong. It just we're all just so different, and to me that is like the best thing of life, and getting to know like my friend's perspective on stuff is just so fun to me because sometimes I I go on to I think about the way they think, and I don't know, sometimes I'm like, okay, I can see it that way. I can appreciate it that way. So I feel like this is a nice little hangout sesh where we can talk about stuff and not feel judged. And if you don't have anybody to talk about with these things, like, well, you have me now. You can talk to me about it. We can be each other's best friend. So I pulled up some Reddit relationship advice that I would like to answer on here and give my perspective in case maybe you're suffering from something similar of these like relationships. So I don't know. Let's just get started with the first one. Because, girl, I got some stuff to say, okay? And I'll leave my Instagram handle here. So if you want to go follow me, want to go share your questions there, if you saw some Reddit relationship advice that you want me to read, leave them there. If you want me to read one of your crazy stories, leave them in this Instagram. I will definitely share those. There's this one influencer I follow. She is a Hispanic influencer from Mexico City. If you guys here are Hispanic or know Spanish, her name is Lupita Villalobos. And the way she tells stories is so crazy, but she does tell them in Spanish. So I kind of want to bring those stories to you guys in English because I think that they're so interesting. And I don't think I'm going to tell them as good as she did, but honestly, oh my gosh, those stories are so juicy, kind of weird. So I don't know. I might share with you guys some of those stories. But all right, let's get started with the first question on Reddit. Okay, let's get on with the first one, and the first one is going to be about Ozempic. If you guys don't know what Ozempic is, it is a weight loss peptide, I guess. It helps control your appetite, and it's really expensive from what I know, unless your insurance covers it, which I don't even know if your insurance covers it. But yeah, it's just a weight loss supplement, so you lose weight. You do still have to eat clean and you do still have to go to the gym for it to work, but I think it like speeds up your process. I'm not really sure. I've never tried Ozempic, but people on Ozempic have lost a ton of weight. So let's read this question. So she is a 30-year-old female talking about her 32-year-old boyfriend. So 30-year-olds. I am a 30-year-old, aka I'm still 25. And I feel like at this age you're a little bit more responsible. You a little bit have your head a little bit on more straight, right? Like you're not a 20-year-old kind of lost. You're still a little bit lost, but not as much. But okay, let's see. Let's see what she said. I, 30, female, used to squat 300 pounds and bench 140 and was in really good shape. I met my boyfriend now, 32 male. We've been together for 4 years. He's even moved with me to BFE. Oh, and that's something about Reddit, you guys, is that they do a lot of abbreviations. So we're gonna have to figure out what all of these mean. Oh, bum F Egypt. So he moved with her to the middle of nowhere. I got COVID and it almost killed me. Then had the symptoms of it for years and that almost killed me. I started a treatment that made me gain 50 pounds in a year and I now weigh 210. I am only 5'3". Anyways, now I am in good health. I started going to the gym every day, only drinking water and intermittent fasting. I also do 36-hour fasts. Oh my gosh, I feel like that's a long time. I've only lost 5 pounds in 2 months. I had the same problem, girl. If you guys go to my normal channel, Hello Malia, I'm actually on a Candida cleanse diet and I share a little bit about how that's been going. But anyways, this is not about me. This is about this 30-year-old female. I had a doctor's appointment and he offered to put me on tirzepatide, which is kind of like Ozempic. I've seen it for a year now, really wanted to but held off because I was unsure of long-term effects. I also knew my dad and boyfriend would not approve. Well, I got it, and for the first day in over a year, I was below 200. So she had lost 10 pounds already. Sorry guys, this is my cat's chair when I'm not filming because he decided that this is his chair now and he's trying to get up here, but he can't right now because I'm on the laptop. So I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring him. He is loved, I promise. Okay. I was so excited and I told my boyfriend. He said, not like you did anything. He's also making jokes about it and just really being unsupportive. Side note, he has never made me feel fat or commented negatively on my weight gain. Any ideas on how to either get him to come around or for me to get over it? Edit. I eat 1,500 calories a day, full of fruits, vegetables, and protein. When I say I only drink water, I gave up drinking 5 Dr. Peppers a day and and beer every other, and I only drink water. I fast 36 hours once a week as a cleanse. I do not look in the mirror and hate myself. I don't binge in between my fasts. I enjoy the food I eat and I have a healthy relationship with it. I lift weights, hit the treadmill, swim, do cycling class, and also yoga to get a good change up to my routine all week. Like I'm healthy and I just needed help getting off the 50 pounds I gained in a year. I do not want to be an unhealthy weight, just my lifting weight of 160. Update. I told my boyfriend about the Reddit and how 80% of people think I have an eating disorder, and he said, it must be your first day on the internet. Welcome. And now has upgraded to giving me a thumbs up if I talk about tirzepatide. Okay. Her question is a little bit crazy, right? Because it's like, how do I get my boyfriend to get on board with me using Ozempic? So I feel like the first thing I would do is not necessarily make like a project, like what are they called? A PowerPoint, but something like that. Maybe like print out some sheets about what Ozempic really is and what it does to your body. Or even easier than that, go watch a YouTube video and type in like how Ozempic works in the body and maybe watch it with him. Maybe try to get him knowledgeable to what Ozempic really is, because he might think it's just like this easy outlet of like losing weight, or maybe not. And try to also get his perspective on why he doesn't approve of it, like what his worries are. And if you do have a doctor, maybe like try to like get him on a conversation in with your doctor to see, so he can see that it's not this like really bad thing that you're trying to do. Because honestly, I don't think it's a bad thing that you're trying to go on Ozempic. Like if you need it, I feel like you should go on Ozempic. Now, personally speaking, I almost thought about doing something like that, but it was way too expensive, especially with somebody that didn't have insurance. I was in that same boat. I was like, I used to weigh 150 for my whole life. And then I don't know when exactly it happened, but like after COVID, my weight skyrocketed. I went from, so I was 150. I gained about 20 pounds when I got married. So I was like 170. I still thought 170 was too much for my body. And I'm 5'5". And out of nowhere, I weighed myself one day and I was over 200 pounds. Honestly, I don't even remember how much, but it was like 215, 210. And yes, it was really uncomfortable. And I'm sorry that you're going through this because it's really challenging mentally, especially because you were such a healthy person, you were eating right. So that really does suck. And it's hard, girl. It's really hard. So I will say, being 210 and wanting to get to 160, that's 50 pounds. I feel like you can do that without going on Ozempic because I'm doing it now and I'm not on Ozempic. And I am on a very strict diet. So in here, you're talking about you're eating 15 calories a day and you're doing a ton of exercise. I feel like you're not accounting for all of the exercise that you're doing. So I think your calorie deficit is a little bit lower and your body is going into a malnutrition instead of a calorie deficit. Now, I'm not a doctor, but this is something that I was reading on. I was like doing my research because once I'm done with my Candida cleanse, I want to do the calorie deficit diet. And it talks about how, like, if you're under too low, then your body doesn't burn off the fat that you're trying to burn off because your body is in like emergency mode where it's like holding on to the fat because you're just like not eating enough. So I think you're not eating enough. I think you should be eating more calories. I think you need to redo the math on how many calories you should be doing and putting that you're doing like a heavy amount of exercise. Because those calories for your body, probably, it sounds to me like it would be like if you were not doing any exercise. So maybe check on that. And then the 36-hour fast every week. I don't know. That sounds a little bit crazy. Again, I'm not a doctor, but once a week, 36, you're definitely malnutritioned. It sounds like to me. Again, I will preface, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a health coach. I don't know anything about this, but just from the little information I have read, just from my my Candida cleanse, is that you're not eating enough. So you should be eating more, definitely. And if you do eat more, you'll probably see better results. But if this trizepatide or whatever it's called is helping you and your boyfriend's not being supportive, but he's also not being like too judgmental to the point where it's causing you mental strain, then just keep doing it. And just, you're not going to do it forever. You're going to do it until you reach your goal weight, and then you're going to stop. So just keep doing it. I don't know, but I would try to get my husband on board if it was me. And I don't see why my husband wouldn't be on board with me trying to be healthier, you know? Like, are there other issues? Like, does he not want to see you skinny? Like, does he have confidence issues? Does he have, like, I don't know, does he think that you're gonna, like, leave him once you drop weight? Girl, there might be more behind that to it. So we gotta figure this out. And he is only your boyfriend. So it doesn't matter that he moved to the middle of nowhere for you. If he's not being supportive, what else is he not going to be supportive about, you know? But all this takes is a conversation. So you definitely need to have a sit down conversation where neither of you get mad. You're literally just having a conversation about why this is important to you and maybe why it's bothering him, and you guys can come to, I don't know, a realization, a balance of how to figure this out. But definitely, I would suggest that maybe you start eating more. Anyways, that was my advice to you guys. A little bit about my Candida cleanse diet, if you guys are interested to know. I also suffered from like not losing weight fast enough. I just updated my 4 weeks on Candida diet, and I mentioned how from March, no, in 2 months, I lost without a diet, just going to the gym, I lost 6 pounds. And to me, that was a little bit because my husband lost 20. So it was real discouraging. But I think it's just like your body is at this, like, it's at this level where it's stuck, it's inflamed. It needs a really big change. So when I started my Candida diet, I'm not going to tell you how much weight I've lost, but I lost more weight in 1 month than I did in 2 months. So I don't know. I had to do something drastic in order for me to drop weight, and that was to cut carbs. But it doesn't seem like that's her case, you know? But everybody's case is different. I did really want to go on Ozempic, and I am so happy that I didn't because now I am learning. I have a better image of food. I have a better image of how much food my body needs to actually have fuel and feel satisfied. I didn't realize that I was binge eating before, and now I do. So I've learned a lot of things on this diet that I don't know if I would have learned on Ozempic because I've never tried Ozempic, but it is possible to do it without Ozempic, especially when you're not even that much overweight, girl. 210 is not that much. So, I mean, it is, and it's going to be hard, but it's not like you're 300 pounds or even like 250 or 280, you know? So, I believe in you. I think you can do this. Add more food into your diet, and yeah. But if any of you guys are on a diet right now, and especially if you're on Ozempic right now, not judging, girl, do your thing. I think that if you really need Ozempic, I feel like it does work. And if it's working for you, it's working for you and nobody else can tell you anything. But also, if you're on this weight loss journey alone, I believe in you. It's hard, it's tough. It feels like some days you're going to give up, but just don't. Just take it one day at a time. And I promise, one day, randomly, you're going to come out of it and you're going to be a stronger person. And it's not going to phase you as much. I promise that. You just got to keep going and not give up. And even if you give in, don't let that be your failure. You gave up that day, okay. Keep going. Why are you stopping? You can do this. Keep going. And also, people on Ozempic, they don't have it easier than us, you guys. They still have to put in the work. So if you're on Ozempic, girl, I got you too. The same thing I'm telling them, the same thing I'm telling you. It is no different. We're all on this journey and it's extremely hard. It is so hard. I know some days you cry, some days you get angry, some day you get irritable and you don't want to talk to your husband, and that's okay too. We're allowed to have all of these feelings, but the point is to never give up and just keep going. Okay, this one, it's for the young ones out there. I wanted to share this one in case somebody out there is young and going through this because this one is crazy. Definitely a 30-year-old would not allow this. But you know, when you're first learning about relationships, there's so much that you have to learn and you got to know what you're going to put up with and what you don't. So let's read this one. So she is an 18-year-old female with a boyfriend that's 18 years old, okay? My boyfriend was unhappy with the way I was acting when we slept together, and now he has threatened to tell my parents that I was being sexual if I keep arguing with him about it. How am I supposed to deal with this? What? We have been together for a year and a half. We are both religious. Our parents do know that we are together, but I tell them very little, mostly because they would not approve. My parents aren't that strict, but they also follow all the rules, and it is important to them that I do as well. So I end up sneaking around a lot. I know that's not very good, but it's what I have to do. My boyfriend is mostly a good man. He cares for me a lot. I am important to him. But we have been arguing a lot. This is embarrassing and really stupid, but it's anonymous, so it doesn't matter. He doesn't like that I don't moan when we sleep together, and it's not that I don't like it, that it feels bad. It just doesn't seem normal to me. I know doing nothing and that I'm ungrateful. I know it's normal to most people, but I've never done it. He doesn't like this. He says it makes him feel like he's doing nothing and that I'm ungrateful. I tell him that I do appreciate him. It just doesn't seem normal, and faking something like that would be stupid. And we end up arguing about this often, and it annoys me because it ruins it. One time I probably lost my temper a bit, and I told him that he ruins everything for the sake of his ego, and I want him to shut up about it. I know that was wrong, and I do try not to be angry at people. He told me that if I act like that again, he's going to tell my parents about how poorly I was behaving around him, that I was convincing him to do sexual things for myself, and he was worried about me. And I don't know what to do. If he told them, I would be in a lot of issues, and it doesn't seem fair that he would say something like that and threaten me with it. It seems like he's taking advantage of everything, and it's also making me it also makes me very worried about my family finding out. But I was also very rude to him, which I shouldn't have been. I'm very confused, and I can't tell anyone because I don't want to talk about this sort of thing to people because it's embarrassing for me. Okay, first of all, this man, this dude, he's young and immature. He's threatening you to tell your parents something that you didn't do, which means it's a lie. Like he's threatening to tell, like if he was to threaten you to tell your parents about something that was true, even that still is wrong, especially in someone that you're supposed to have full trust in. So that's already a very red flag on his part, is like trying to control you by him telling your parents. No, girl. Also, if this is something that he is planning on doing, to me personally, I would come clean to your parents first before he tries to put this on you and like say a different scenario that is not true. Because at the end of the day, you are 18, you are an adult, and you might get in trouble, yes, but honesty is going to get you farther than sticking with this man and letting him control you and like threaten to tell your parents stuff. Because who does that? This little boy seems like he's so immature and he is not ready for this relationship. His ego is definitely taking a play at this. And another thing, I feel like, and let me know if I'm wrong, but maybe he's just not pleasuring you in bed. I mean, I don't think you necessarily have to do loud noises, but I mean, you can tell when there's chemistry and when you guys are both feeling it. So maybe there's a reason why you're not, making loud noises. And maybe there's a reason why his ego is getting hurt and like he knows that maybe he's not satisfying you. And maybe it's just not there. Maybe you guys don't have that. And if you guys are arguing a lot, you can, I don't know. To me, if I'm being 100% honest, I feel like I think it's time to move on from this relationship. I know that you have been together with him for a year and a half, which seems like a lot. But if you put it into perspective, it is not a long time, especially since you guys are so young. You have a full life ahead of you. And if this is not something that's making you 100% happy, it is not worth it to stick by this guy because you have so much life ahead of you. Like, I don't know if you're about to go to college, you have a job, you have friends. This is the time of your life where you need to be exploring. And by exploring, I don't mean exploring other men, but I mean exploring the world, getting to travel, to hang out with your friends, to make new friends, to do things that you enjoy doing. And I just, from how he sounds, I feel like he's not that type of person. I feel like he's going to be a very controlling person from the beginning. And I just don't like where this is going. Like, to me, these are red flags all around, and I do not appreciate it. Especially him telling your parents how poorly you are misbehaving around him. Like, what does that even mean? That you were convincing him to do sexual things for myself? Like, girl, what? This guy is pissing me off. Just, I think it's time. I think it's time to let this man go, this child's go. Because what is he doing? He's acting like a child. He is not acting like someone that you can trust for the rest of your life. And if that is where this is headed, if this is headed to marriage, you're going to have more problems down the road once you guys are both married or when you have kids. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Leave this guy now. And no, no. Sometimes we just have to move on. And at 18 years old, some guys are not really that mature. I feel like it's really hard to find a mature 18-year-old. Their head is just somewhere else. And I don't know. I wish I had a little bit more information about this, but that's all I can say is free yourself from this relationship and move on. Yes, it's going to be hard to move on, but I promise you it's going to be worth it. It's going to hurt. Heartbreaks hurt. They just hurt, but you get over them. I promise you, you get over them. And then one day you end up finding the person that truly makes you happy, that truly makes you happy in bed, and that you know for certain that you can trust that person with your heart 100%. And that is someone that you need, and that person doesn't sound like your boyfriend. But okay, let's keep going. I also want you guys to share your opinions on this stuff because your opinion might be different than me. And like I said, no one's opinion is wrong. And I just love hearing everyone's perspectives. And I'm sorry, my voice, like I mentioned, I'm going through this candida cleanse. My voice, it like hurts to talk. I don't know. I'm going to ask my health coach tomorrow. I have a meeting with her. I don't know if it's part of it or why my voice sounds like I'm sick. I don't know. It was worse early. It was worse this weekend. I don't, if sometimes it feels like it's getting better and then sometimes it doesn't. So my voice might change throughout the episodes. Okay, this one is for the people struggling with their partners that live with them, okay? So she is 23 and her boyfriend is 29. Oh my God, this one's good. So it says, I am tired of fighting with my boyfriend of 9 months to flush the toilet. And here is her story. Hello, I'm 23, female dating a 29 male. We have been together for 9 months. My boyfriend is a salesman who works full time, is salaried, and makes commission often, which he likes to brag about and reminds me. That's one red flag. One thing is to brag about it. The other one is to talk about his achievements with you so you both are proud, okay? There's two different things. So, that's already a red flag. I recently graduated college in May, and before that was staying with my parents while going to school full-time and working part-time. I I now am taking a part-time internship and will do a summer class part-time as well. After my internship ends in August, I'll either work for the company I'm interning with if they hire me full time, or I'll be looking for a full time employment. Okay, so they've been together for 9 months. Okay. In the end of April, I stated to I started to stay with him full time. Before that, we would have sleepovers on the weekend, but I would stay with my parents during the week while going to class. She commuted to college. When I first started staying there, I did a lot of grocery shopping and cleaning. I would make him meals every day when he arrived from work. I would spend my days cleaning while applying for jobs. Now that I'm working, my boyfriend has been so lazy. He leaves wet laundry in the washer for days until I do laundry and therefore have to do his laundry too. He leaves urine and feces. I love the way you said that, in the toilet. And when I ask him to flush, he tells me, "This is my house. Don't talk to me like a child." And my personal favorite, "You don't give me enough time to flush." When I asked him if he flushes at work, he got so upset and stormed out and said that this relationship is unsustainable because of my moods. And he feels like he can never satisfy my highly standards. He'll leave the trash piled up for days until I finally get so fed up with smelling the trash while eating breakfast that I take it out. I asked him if we could take the trash out together because it was a lot for one person to do, and he scoffed at me and said, "You think that's a lot of trash?" When he said that this relationship was unstable and that it wouldn't work out, I said, "Okay, we can break up. I can get my stuff out." Then he got emotional and said, "No, please. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. We're trying to build a life together." You know what that sounds like, right? How can I build a life with someone who dies on weird effing hills like wanting to leave his pee in the toilet? My issue now is that he wants me to pay $300 to live there with him now. I work 4 days a week, 6 to 8 hours a day, $15 an hour, I'm guessing. A couple of weeks ago, he made like $300 commission just for answering trivia questions at his work. He says, "Since you want to contribute," like I wasn't already. I was paying for groceries, cooking him meals, taking care of his dog, and cleaning the house when he was away. After our big fight, he said he would improve and pick up after himself, but I haven't seen any improvement yet. He says I'm unreasonable for getting upset with him about this stuff and honestly feeling used and gaslit. Any advice would be great. Okay, she works 6 to 8 hours a day for $15. I wonder if she's working part-time. So I wonder if she's working like let's say she works 3 days. That would be 3 days, 8 hours a day would be $360 minus, everything they take out. She's probably taking home 300, $600 a week or whatever. And he wants her to pay $300 in rent. Sorry, you guys, you can hear my cat. He's being crazy right now. Man, okay, there's so much to this. Let's break it down little by little, right? Because they've been together for 9 months, but I don't think they've been living together for those 9 months. I think she just started living with him. She said at the end of April she started living with him, and I don't know what date she's writing this. So they haven't been living together for a while. Now, before she had her job, she was doing all of the cooking and the cleaning and all of that stuff. But once she got busy, because now she has a part-time job and she has an internship, she can't do much of that stuff, which I think is fair. I think once you have more load, you guys both have to share the house chores, to me, in my opinion. The thing that makes me mad is that he's telling you that this is his house, but he's not taking care of his house. He wants a little maid to do all the chores for him. But when it comes time to making a decision about it, it's his house. And that is something to consider too. He's always going to feel, to me, like he's already feeling like he's always going to be better than, and you're going to be under him, and all the rules go under him. And if you want to be that type of person, again, no judgment, I think that's fine. But if you are not this type of person, this relationship might not work for you. Now, him telling you that your little moods are unstable and that this relationship is not working, and then whenever you're ready to call it quits and say, "Okay, I'm like, we can end this relationship," and then he gets emotional, that is a cycle of behavior. I don't know if that's narcissistic. I really don't, but it sounds like it, or something of that sort, of where like He throws a tantrum, you get upset, you leave, or you get mad, and then he's like, no, 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 I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And it's starting so small, and I might be overreacting, I don't know, but I feel like this is how it starts because he knows he's like building you up. He's like building you up to the day that he's going to do something a lot worse. And at this point, you're going to be super invested in this relationship and you're going to keep forgiving him. That is what this sounds like to me. I could be wrong. He could be the nicest guy ever, the sweetest guy ever. But from what this sounds like, it sounds extremely hard to live with him. Now, I'm not on your side 100%, right? Like, because I don't know how it is to live with you. Sometimes it can be both people. It could just be that you both are, not easy to live with. The other thing that trips me out is that he's asking you to pay rent, $300. So let me tell you about me for a second. Whenever me and my husband first got married, I was working a good job. We decided to live together and he moved in with me and I did make him start helping. I don't know if I made him or he offered. Well, no. So he was going to pay this rent to his brother. And I was like, well, instead of paying him, you can live with me and you can pay me. So that's how it happened. But I was still taking care of most of the bills. Then after that, we decided to get our own place together. Oh, and at that time, he was paying rent, but I was taking care of like the food. I was making food, I was buying the groceries, like I was doing all of that. Of course, when we were going out to eat, he was paying and stuff, but I was taking care of like the home and what needed to be inside the home because we also lived at that point with other people. So then we moved into our own house. We started renting a house together. At this time, I still had a stable job and so at this point, we had both agreed that we were going to go down the middle. He was going to pay the rent and I was going to pay the bills. And that worked out for us. Even though he's always made more money than me, that is just what we agreed on at the beginning of our relationship and I was okay with it. Now that I think about it, I think that was great because we've been able to build this life together where he was able to save money so we could eventually buy a house together. And now he pays for 100% of the bills because I am not working. Well, I am working, I'm just not being paid to work. As of right now, I am still just my career is to be a content creator, and that is what I'm working towards. So he is giving me the space to be a content creator while he takes care of all the bills, right? But these are all things that we both sat down and we had an agreement with. Now, the fact that he's throwing this out of nowhere with you, I just think that you guys need to have a conversation about where this relationship is going and what makes sense to both of you. Like, if you don't mind paying those $300, but he has to clean up after himself, then yeah. Or if you guys come to an agreement of like, okay, I don't want to pay the $300, but maybe I'll do more of the chores at home if that helps, and like I'll get the groceries or something. I don't know. I don't know. You guys can try to come to an agreement where it makes sense to both of you. But honestly, girl, if it doesn't make sense to you, if he's already showing these signs of being an unstable boyfriend, if he's being disgusting, like not flushing the toilet, pee is one thing. Number two, not flushing it, like, is he going through something? Has he always been like this? Like, what's going on there? Like, that to me is scary behavior, and I feel like it can only get scarier. Fortunately for you, I feel like you have the choice, I believe. Tell me if I'm wrong, but you have the choice to go back to your parents' house. Yes, you are 23 years old, but there is nothing wrong with going back to your parents' house and getting your shit together. Because you're doing so much for your life right now That's what you should be focusing on. Focusing on getting this internship, doing a good job so you can get an employment here, possibly, because I'm pretty sure you're interning there because that's where you want to work. This is where you see your life trajectory taking you. And what is this man doing? Like, I feel like he's just pulling you down, not really encouraging you, not really trying to help you. You guys are not working as a team together. And I feel like 29-year-old definitely should be working as a team together with you. So what is going on here? Like, you're 23, he should be acting more mature than you. He's 29, and it doesn't sound like he's acting more mature than you. So with all of that being said, girl, I think you have a right for being, she says she feels upset and gaslit. I feel like you're definitely being gaslit, and you have the right to be upset. I don't know if there's a chance for you to talk to him. I feel like if you want to give it one last shot. But with like, if you really want to give him one last chance, you have to really make him work for it. Like, you guys definitely have to have a conversation of where you see this going and what you would like for him to do and what he would like from you. And if you guys can come to this agreement, right? Like for example, he said he was going to start taking out the trash. You guys come up with this agreement, and you tell him like, I want to see change. And if you don't see change, I would leave. I would leave because you're not stuck here. The thing that I'm worried for you is that what if you get pregnant and then you're stuck for real? Because now you can't just think about your life, you have to think about your child's life. And I just see this going really far left when it doesn't have to. So maybe talk to him, communicate with him your needs, what you expect out of him in this household. That house you guys are living there together. You are as deserving as he is of that place. And that should be another red flag if he doesn't see you as being part of that household. If he just sees you like a roommate, that should be a red flag. So yeah, talk to him if things don't change, or if they change for a little bit and then they go back to normal as they've always been. I would say maybe just get away from him. Get away from him, go back to your parents' house, and yeah, save up some money. And then once you're in your parents' house, if they're not asking you to pay rent there, if they are, that's totally fine. But if they aren't, contribute to the groceries here and there, but also save up, girls. Save up your money, save as much as you can, stay there as long as you can until you are able to comfortably afford a apartment where you have a nice little savings and you're not living paycheck to paycheck, because the last thing you want to do is like move back to your parents' house and then move out of desperation and then like live paycheck to paycheck, because times are hard nowadays, emergencies happen. And I don't know, just it sounds like you have a good head on your shoulders, and this guy is just taking you down with him. With whatever he's going through, he's trying to take you down with him. And no, guys don't have to be clean, but they don't have to be dirty either. I'll tell you like a little example of my life. So let me even think, because me and my husband have been together for like 10 years, right? And obviously, whenever he first moved in with me, he wasn't doing any of the work. He wasn't cleaning, he wasn't cooking, he wasn't doing any of that. Because it was like he moved in with me. He was kind of like a roommate of the house, and I was totally fine with that. It also depends on what you're fine with. And then when we got our house together, I was still working a full-time job. And then once I quit that job, I started a business. I was selling jewelry, and then I was also a massage therapist. So technically, I had two jobs at one point, and I was really busy and I was really tired. Like, I was just so tired, like physically, from working my massage therapy job. And I was so tired mentally from being on the computer because I would have to get home from my work and then go ship stuff and then work some more. So I was just really exhausted that I didn't really keep up with the house that much, to be honest. My mom lives with us. So fortunately, we had her help and she would do a lot of the cooking. Like she would cook a lot and she would clean the kitchen a lot. But the rest definitely did fall on me. And sometimes I just didn't have it in me. Sometimes I would go to work on Saturday and my husband wouldn't work on Saturdays those days. And he would clean the house and I would get back home to a clean house. And that was the best feeling ever. And my husband has a really hard job. He works outside every single day and he works over 9 hours a day. So to me, that was really impressive. And now that we moved into our house, I am a stay at home wife. So I have taken on, and I mean, I guess I always did, but now it's like 100% because my mom is getting older. So I kind of wanted to take over like the cooking for the house. So my mom no longer cooks for us. So I do all the cooking, all the lunches, all the cleaning, all the laundry. I do all of it. I do the little chores here and there that we need to go do. Like if he needs something, I go and run those errands because I am here 100% of the time. And yes, I do work a lot because I am a content creator. I am making videos all the time. I am editing videos. I'm always on the computer. I'm always on my phone. But this life works for us because I also understand that he has a very demanding job. And so for us at this moment of our life, like this is working. Now, I told him like whenever I have money, I would want to get some stuff where I wouldn't want to do everything. Like for example, I don't want to cook every single day. I enjoy cooking, but I don't want to do it every day. So that is something that we would maybe look for like a meal prep service. I don't mind doing laundry, so that's something that I could keep doing forever. The house chores, like cleaning the house, I can do it, but maybe hiring someone to do a deep clean like once every year or something. That's something that I would want to add to our budget once I have a budget. But all of this happened through communication. And I feel like if you cannot communicate with your partner, then you do not have a marriage or a relationship because relationships, whether it's a friendship or like a partner, it is all about communicating your feelings, what you're thinking, how you're feeling, how it's going, what needs to change. Because if you don't communicate, like, how is the other person going to know that something's upsetting you? And then you're over here upset and they don't even have an idea of why you're upset. And then you're like wondering why they're not changing, but they don't know that that thing that they're doing is making you upset. And you get nowhere without communication. So communication is key. If communication doesn't work, then that's whenever you have to find step B and figure out if maybe what you're asking for is not something that you really want, and it's something that you can compromise on. Or step C is trying to figure a way out and getting out of a relationship that you're not happy with. Because unlike our last friend, our last 23-year-old friend, we don't all have our parents to fall back on. And to me, that is something so special because I always tell people that live with their parents, like, yes, it's hard living with your parents, but it's harder not even having that support financially. Okay. And if you can live with your parents for a little bit more and save some money and just set yourself up for success, I don't see why you shouldn't do it. Like, you can hold on to their rules and their craziness just a little bit longer, unless it's something crazy, okay? We're not going to like parents that are like super abusive. No, that's a different conversation. I'm just talking about maybe just like strict parents, you know? So if you're able to be at home, save money, do it. Get yourself a nice little savings account, make yourself more financially responsible. And then, yeah, then move out when it's time to move out, and it'll just be that much more freeing because it's hard. It's hard moving out and paying bills. It really is. So, that's one advice that I could give to some of you about, you know, being independent. And then for those of you who are stuck in these relationships that you're not happy in, man, it's tough. Like, I think about the stay-at-home moms that are not happy, but they've given their whole life. Their job is to take care of their children, and there's no space for them to work because they have to take care of the children. That's a really tough situation to be in. And I don't have the answers for that, you know? I wish you guys could see my cat right now. He's being so lovey-dovey. This is my chair, my filming chair, and this cat sleeps everywhere. He has so many beds, so many places where it's his only, and he decided to use my filming chair as his like sleeping spot. And right now, since I'm filming, I'm in his spot, and he is so bothered that I'm here. So he's been messing with me this whole time I've been filming. But he found a spot right here under me, and he's doing just fine. Let me show you guys. This him right now. His name is Kylo. He was adopted from the streets. He was a feral cat for like 6 years, and one day he came home inside and he never left, and he now lives inside with us. And that's Milo. Oh, and the reason his ears chipped or cut is because so we lived in Grand Prairie, and they have this program where you take feral cats and you go get them spayed or neutered, and they release them back into the colony. That way they don't multiply. So he was one of those cats, along with his sister and like, I don't know, hundreds of other cats that lived in that neighborhood. Unfortunately, his sister's no longer with us. We don't know what happened to her. One day she left and she never came back. And I think that's when he, like a little bit after that, that's whenever he started coming around and like wanting more attention from us, because obviously he missed his sister and so do we. But yeah, that's our cat and our dog and my dog. And then we have another dog. His name is Charlie. Him we got from a pound. And he's really reserved. He doesn't like to be on camera, and he's shy and he's scared. So yeah, you might not see him often, but you might see Milo and you might see Kylo in my videos because they're always near me. But yeah, that was pretty much the end of our first episode. I mean, technically there's another episode out now, but I was so nervous. It was the first time I was like trying something like this, and I was just nervous. But we're here. We got our confidence back. I'm not nervous anymore. So I guess I can introduce myself if you're still watching this. My name is Maria. I have another YouTube channel called Hello Malia, and I decided to. I was really in between just keeping Malia as like my persona online, but I feel like this podcast is a little bit more personal, so I did want you guys to know my real name. But Malia is Maria in Hawaiian. I took on that nickname a long time ago, like when I was 13, and I just never let it go. And so a lot of people actually only know me as Malia. Like they don't even know that my real name is Maria. Like a lot of people that I knew from like Instagram and stuff, they've always known me as Malia. So when I created my YouTube channel, I decided that that was gonna be just my name. But when creating this podcast, I guess I just wanted full transparency and just to be me, not to be a character. I just wanted to be me. So, yeah, there you have it. I live in Texas. Like I mentioned, I have 2 dogs and 1 cat. My husband wants another cat, but I don't know if I can do another cat, especially we would probably have to get that cat as a baby. And baby cats are kind of crazy. Like Kylo, he's super chill and he's just the goodest boy ever. And yes, at the beginning, when we first, so he had lived with us in the other house previously. So when we moved, it was obviously a big change for everyone. And it took him a while to get accustomed to life here. And he was like messing with my plants. And well, he was being adventurous and getting on top of counters, which he never did. So now that we're all settled in, he's like an inside outside cat. And now when he's inside, he sleeps most of the time, and then when he's outside, that's his time to go and like play outside with the other cats or like hunt. He loves to hunt. We live in an older neighborhood, so oh, and we live near a Walmart. So for a while we actually had rats outside, and they caught them all. And nowadays they go and hunt them from other houses. So they're hunting mice or rats. I actually don't know the difference. But yeah, my birthday is coming up soon. So happy birthday to me. I have always wanted to be a content creator ever since I can remember. Like, not as I was young because I didn't know what content creators were, but ever since I found out about like YouTube and I started watching YouTubers, I always wanted to be a content creator. But you guys, I probably still am, but was the most reserved, shyest person in a room. Like, no matter what room it was, that was me. I was the shyest, most quietest person. It's so awkward for me to make friends. Um, like, you have to come up to me. Like, I can make conversation, but you have to start the conversation. I would not make conversations with random people. And that is something that I wanted to work on since I decided that this is what I really truly felt like it was my calling and this is what I wanted to do. And starting a podcast, you guys, was like, no, crazy. I was like, what? Like, what am I gonna talk about? Like, I don't even talk that much on a daily, like what am I gonna say for the rest of my life on a podcast? But here we are pushing ourselves to our limits, and I'm pretty sure you are too. So you go, girl, you got this. You're amazing. I believe in you. But yeah, a few years ago, I lost my job, the job that I idolized and hated so much. And I feel like that's maybe another episode I can talk about, kind of like that, the trajectory of my life and how it started. But I fell into a depression. And when I got out of it, I decided to finally fulfill my dreams, what I really thought that I was meant to be here for. And so here I am on camera, and it's been so, 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 so rewarding. So I hope that you guys got to know me a little bit on this first episode of Relationship Advice. Again, if you have any questions, if you want to tell me any of your stories, if you want to, yeah, if you want to know how to do something, I don't know, any relationship, friendship, work related questions, advice, anything, let me know. Again, my Instagram is going to be The Secret Diaries. So go follow me on there. I think my handle is The Secret Diaries MS because somebody took The Secret Diaries. So yeah, go message me there. Go follow me there if you want to. But I guess we're gonna end this podcast here. And I love you guys so much. I'll see you next week with another podcast. This was The Secret Diaries, hosted by Maria Sandoval.